chosen one.
Voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
Hello to all my fans out there. This is the chosen one. Now this is the volume 1 of the Dead Wrestlers. I'm going to start out with these 3 wrestlers died of supposed drug overdoses. I'm going to start out with February the 10th, 2003 with Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig. Now Curt Hennig, before we get to the parts of the death and everything, Curt Hennig wrestled as Mr. Perfect in the WWE, and it's Curt Hennig in WCW and everything. Everybody don't know what these guys go through. And I mean, they're on the road 22 days a month. They're on the road, and they work 300, 200 days a year, and it takes your toll on your body. And you can't sit there and say, "Well, I do this and I do that, and I don't take drugs." We know there's y'all smart people out there that wouldn't never do anything wrong. February the 10th, 2003, Hennig was found dead in a Florida hotel room. And the Tampa coroner's office and the Tampa medical examiner's office declared an acute cocaine intoxication as the result of his death. His father, Larry the Axiom, who wrestled for the AWA, said that steroids and painkillers also had contributed to his death. Now, a lot of wrestlers, a lot of them take steroids, you know, and then you look at some of them, you say, well, they don't take steroids, they're not doing it. Steroids is not just used to build body mass and all that. It also helps you heal from injuries, and some of them may take it differently than others. Some may take it to look good and to help heal their body, or some may just take it to heal their body so they can wrestle every night. And when you sign a contract, because everybody says, well, they ain't got to wrestle all them days. When you sign on the dotted line, you belong to whoever you're working for. Vince McMahon or whoever. It comes to my mind whenever I heard of the acute cocaine intoxication that he died, you know. And a lot of people out there will say, well, it's wrestling. He's a drug head. You know. There's millions of people that die every day over drug overdose. But when a wrestler dies, they blow it up to be the biggest deal in the world. Now, they did have a lot on their plate. They were on the road, like I said, 200 plus a year. And it gets to you. It takes its toll on your body. But you have to be the one to correct yourself. And he just wasn't. But Mr. Perfect, in his legacy and his wrestling career, I'd rank him up there at the top. He was a good performer, and I enjoyed watching him, especially in his earlier days. I don't know why they're dying so young. But it's because a lot of it's because they're on the road all the time, and it takes a toll on the body. I mean, the stress, you know, puts so much pressure on the heart, and then with the alcohol, the drugs, the steroids, and everything combined, I mean, you're headed nowhere but for disaster. So, you know, you just have to wait and see what happens with the whole wellness program they say they got in the WWE to keep everybody clean. Now, that is Vince McMahon's problem right there. You got to run a tight ship. Now, I watched an interview with Kurt Angle from back in 2008, late 2008, where he said that you know, you take painkillers because, I mean, you got to get through the pain. You got to make it to the next show because you're obligated to be there. And he said that, you know, back in the 80s, it was the lifestyle. I mean, they would be sniffing coke. They would be, you know, going out and partying, drinking all night, hitting some Vicodin and everything up. And Vince McMahon didn't really have a problem with it back then. But he's more, Kurt Angle said he was more strict about it now than he was back then. The first thing you got to look at is the young wrestlers that are dying. I mean, they're not even reaching 50 years old hardly. And then the ones that reach 50 hardly even reach 60. And it's a travesty to see these people die so young. All right, my next person is Bam Bam Bigelow. Now, Bam Bam was a wrestler that people knew from the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s. He was also in the movie Major Payne, and he was in WCW, ECW later on in his career. Bam Bam was a good wrestler too. Now, on January the 19th, 2007, on the morning of January 19th, 2007, Bigelow was found dead in his home at approximately 10 a.m. in Hudson, Florida. And he was in. I got two things out of this, okay? Because I don't know which is true. One of them is says he died of an infection and diabetes. And then the Tampa Tribune reported that results of Bigelow's death were due to multiple drugs found in his system, including toxic levels of cocaine and, Xanax and stuff like that. It was also suffering from a heart problem, So, I don't know where to put Bigelow in this. If you remember Bam Bam, But it's like nobody cares about these guys enough to speak up for them, It's like, well, it's just another wrestler. Who cares, Who cares about wrestling? Now, the last person on my list, I've been watching since I was about 15 years old. I always liked him. He was a good guy, I met him in Mobile, Alabama one time when they were doing a show down there, a wrestling show. Matter of fact, I think it was back when the Alliance was going on. And quick story real quick about the Alliance. About that night is that day when I was probably about 18, and my dad hadn't got me tickets to wrestling. And it was in the cheap seats, way up there, because it was sold out, SmackDown. And my dad had went into the drugstore earlier that day to pick up his prescriptions, and we were there. And I said, Daddy, that's Rob Van Dam. And my daddy knew who Rob Van Dam was because that was one of his favorite wrestlers. My dad did not watch wrestling. He didn't really like wrestling, but he liked Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam was in that drugstore, and we walked up to him and, asked him for his autograph. He gave it to us, and I had cheap seat tickets. He asked me, did I have wrestling tickets that night for the event? And we said, yeah, we got these tickets way up in the sky. He handed us 2 tickets that were floor level, second row. We was right behind. I know you probably don't know, most of you fans don't know who Kenny the Snake Stabler is. He's a former football player, played for the Oakland Raiders, the Saints, and the University of Alabama Crimson Tide, one of my favorites. I met Test, and he was nice, man. He was just down to earth. He signed everything. He was all nice to us, and it was nice seeing him. Test at that time, and he was real nice and down to earth, signed all our autographs and everything, but it just, it shocked me when he died, because on March the 13th, 2009, Martin was found dead in his Tampa apartment. His death was later ruled an accidental overdose of oxycodone by the medical examiner's office in Hillsborough County, Florida. Now, I work at a drugstore, and oxycodone is a very addictive drug and very deadly. So that is, that's a shocker that Tess passed on that way after a woman looking through her, window didn't see him moving for several hours. But he was real nice when we met him, and he was a good performer. I enjoyed watching. 3 years old, and you tell me that this business doesn't take its toll on the body. Just so many young. I just, hopefully enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna be bringing you more on wrestlers, and I'm gonna be bringing more information So y'all have an enjoyable night, and we'll see you later.